Hello everybody, welcome to my trivia channel, October 29th, 2024 here in beautiful Yorktown, Virginia. And this is a really sad story, a tragic story that actually happened back in 1963, the year I was born, yeah. And a lot of you don't know about this. People down in Atlanta area and in Georgia know, but outside of that state, we were Air Force, moved around a lot. When I talk to people, they don't know it. But it was called the Atherton's Drugstore Explosion. And it took place at 6:24 p.m. I believe, October 31st, 1963. Yeah, Halloween night. And Marietta, Georgia. We were down there. My dad was Air Force. My late father and my late mom were down there in the Air Force. And so we lived, to give you an idea, if you go on Google Maps, Dobbins Air Force Base, well, it's Dobbins Air Reserve Base now, is here. And then Atlanta's here. Marietta's up here. So kind of a north-northwest track, but they're all within like 20 miles of each other. But we didn't live on the Air Force Base. We lived in a cute little house in town near the drugstore. And so the explosion, it rocked our house. And my parents, now I was only 9 months old. I don't really remember that. They told me the stories, but I do still to this day. Whenever there's like an explosion, we live near airports, and a loud noise, it really gets me. And that has something to do with it. It's kind of in my brain from when that happened. But the thing is, 6 to 8 was trick-or-treating time, 5 to 8, 6 to 8. So this was 6:24, I believe, the explosion. So there was a Halloween parade about to start down there, and the kids were in their costumes, and Atherton's Drugstore is where everyone went for ice cream. And so Mom that night had talked about, my older sister was 4, I was 9 months. She was thinking about taking them in a stroller and walking us down to get an ice cream cone, because that was the place to get the ice cream cones in town. And somebody even talks about that in one of the videos about the going down there. That was right there when that happened. And but she had that mom's intuition kind of thing, And for whatever, moms get that sometimes. She decided, no, I'm not going to go down there tonight. So we could have been in the store, literally. But it's such a tragedy. I want everybody to remember it. 7 people died. I think 23 were injured. To the locals. Now, we were Air Force, we weren't locals, but obviously it affected them the rest of their lives. And by the way, that same evening, in an incredible coincidence, the Indianapolis State Fair explosion happened, a gas leak too, about 11:06 p.m. that same night. And over 80 people died there in Indiana. So the same night, so some people have probably thought of sabotage. The 60s were a very wild time, there's a lot of political turmoil. In fact, John F. Kennedy would die 22 nights later. Okay, so 22 days later was the assassination of JFK. And one of the churches in Marietta burned down a couple weeks later. And then the Beatles came February 9th, 1964. They were on the Ed Sullivan Show. So it was a very, the Beatlemania. So, a very hectic time of change, social upheaval. And to have those 2 gas leak explosions. But now there might 2 factors, though. Number one, probably back then the gas tanks seals weren't as good, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. And number 2, probably the inspections weren't as good. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm thinking maybe 60 years ago, gas, it seems like it's more commonly used today in homes and so forth. So I don't know on the residential level. But both of them were gas leaks. The one in Indianapolis, by the way, was under aisle 13 on Halloween night. Yeah, so that's another part of the horrible tragedy, being on Halloween night. But that's it, really. I just wanted to, like I said, it was a horrible tragedy. We were a big ice cream cone family, so we easily could have gone down there. Mom decided not to take us down there. Shook the whole neighborhood. Something that they had a memorial service on the 50th anniversary and the 60th anniversary. So it's not forgotten in that area, which is nice that the people are always remembered for such a great tragedy. But it's one of those things that my family talked about and, when we were part of, and we'll never forget. So rest in peace to the victims, and I wish you a happy Halloween this year in 2 nights. Bye for now.